So welcome everyone. I am Allison Coops. Matt Campton is serving as my tech host this morning. So if you have any issues with audio or those kinds of things, if you could send him a chat, he will try to help you out. And the first thing I want to do, we are having this meeting today through Zoom. And in case you're not familiar with Zoom, if you move your mouse, you'll see a toolbar that's similar to this one. This is the host toolbar, but on the left end of the toolbar is your audio button where you can mute and unmute. Go ahead and unmute at any time if you want to ask a question or make a comment. And the rest of the time, if you could stay muted, would be great because we are expecting a whole bunch of people. And thank you for all having your cameras on so we can see each other. That is wonderful. The participants pane and chat pane do not pop up automatically. So you have the buttons there to open the participant pane and the chat pane. You can use the chat pane to send questions, to chat with each other. If there's, I don't have the chat pane open, so Matt will be funneling questions to me if you put questions for me in the chat. After that is the React button. That is where your virtual raise hand button is. You can use that if you want to, but again, you can just unmute and ask if you have a question, but you can use that for reactions, all sorts of reactions, and you can give that a try now if you want to send a reaction to try out the Zoom reactions. And then, as I said, there's some host tools there. If you are looking for captions, you'll find those under the More button. So you can use that More button to turn on captions if you would like. And I'm going to go ahead and I got some reactions there. Excellent. Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and move right in. All right. We are so glad you are here this morning. Career Prospectors is an all-volunteer organization. No one is getting paid to help you land your next dream job. It is a local organization because we meet in person, so assisting Richmond area job seekers. And a lot of times at the end of sessions, you will hear people say, hope to see you next week, but there's also hope that we don't see you next week because you're busy having an interview or starting a new job. So the whole purpose of Career Prospectors is to move past it to get you into your dream job. All that Career Prospectors asks you in return for the services is that you help other job seekers. We are here to help each other. And here you have our three volunteer leaders, Charlie Wood, John McClung, and Ed Landry. Each week you will see 1, 2, or 3 of these people leading our in-person sessions. There are so many pieces to a career search. There's your resume, your LinkedIn profile. You will hear us talking about a job search plan. You will hear us talking about one-on-one information meetings. So there's not an exact recipe for landing your next job that has measurements and ingredient lists and step-by-step instructions. Think of it instead as a small salad bar where you get to craft your personal search for the career outcome that you want. So there are pieces. You will choose what you want to focus on first. You will choose what you want to put the most emphasis on. And Career Prospectors will be giving you advice and resources all along the way to help you land that next dream job. All right, I want to start with meetup.com, which is probably how you found us today. What I want to emphasize here is join meetup.com with your first name, with your last name, with your picture. Why? Because you are going to meet a lot of wonderful people at Career Prospectors. You will want to connect with them on LinkedIn. You may want to set up one-on-one information meetings with some of them. So meetup.com is a place where you can check spelling of people's names. You can put names with pictures so you know who is who. So it's also sort of where Career Prospectors keeps attendance. You know, we don't keep attendance, but it's where you can go for the next 24 hours after an event to get that information about people so you can connect with them. RSVP to events when they are announced on meetup.com every week. Yes or no? You can always change your RSVP, but as soon as you see, you know, an email introducing it, or you go to Meetup and see it, RSVP that yes, as long as I don't get an interview or I'm starting a job, I plan to be there. You can always change your RSVP later, but RSVPs are very helpful so that speakers know how many people to expect, so that if they have handouts, they know how many handouts to print. So very important to RSVP. Things like mock interviews, there are recruiters being invited. We need to know how many people are planning to come so that we know how many recruiters we should invite to that. So RSVP. I want to take you to meetup.com so you can see the about page and the events pages. Oh, and it's going to be slow now that we have people. Okay, here we go. So here is the about page where you can read more of what Career Prospector is about and upcoming events. So here's the one that we are in right now, our orientation, and here is tomorrow. I'm going to click on tomorrow. So some details about the event, and then the details over here. The next session is tomorrow, Tuesday, June 3rd, from 11:30 to 1:30. It is at St. Michael's Catholic Church on Springfield Road in Glen Allen, and it is behind the church in the lake house. So when you come to the driveway of St. Michael's Catholic Church, you will come in the driveway. And then if you turn to the right and come back and park over here somewhere, you can come right in the side door of the lake house, where you will find all of the wonderful career prospectors and guest speakers and all that sorts of things. So hope to see you tomorrow for that. And this was just announced recently, so I have not RSVP'd yet. So I am going to click attend. I plan to attend tomorrow. They're usually announced about a week ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And you can add it to your calendar. You can share it with other people. So any questions on Meetup? All right, I am going to come back to my PowerPoint. All right, weekly meetings. I'm going to move all of you over to the left side. Somewhere over there. Okay. Oh, all right. So we meet every week, currently on Tuesdays. The details are always posted on the Meetup site. You should bring something to take notes on and with. Make sure you have your phone so you can share your LinkedIn profile and check your calendar. Optional, you can bring physical business cards if you want. I don't, but some people like to have physical business cards. You can bring, if you have a nice name tag, you can bring that, or you can make a nice name tag. There are usually, not always, paper stick-on name tags where you can put your first and last name and a short word or phrase with what you are looking for. So mine would say Allison Coops, Learning and Development. And I like to bring a water bottle. Our meetings start with 30 minutes of networking and fellowship so that we can meet new people, so that we can catch up with people that we know from previous sessions, so we can find out how we can help each other in our job searches and commiserate with each other. There are highs and there are lows in the job search, and these are people who understand there are highs and there are lows. So checking in on how things are going on the job search. After that 30 minutes of networking and fellowship time, we do introductions. So during that first 30 minutes, you're walking around, shaking hands with people. 30 minutes in, we sit down towards the front of the room, and the first thing we do is introductions. One at a time, people will stand up, say their first and last name, a word or phrase about what they are looking for, and a couple of companies where they are interested in getting contacts, and or a couple of individuals that they are interested in getting introduced to. So, for example, I could stand up, say, I'm Allison Coops. I am in learning and development, and I am looking for contacts at Endevco. And because Endevco is not a household name, I might say manufacturing in Doswell, or Connected Solutions Group. If I had particular people I wanted to be introduced to, I would name those. And then I would repeat my first and last name. I'm Allison Coops, and sit back down. During introductions, you should be taking notes of people's names and what they're looking for, their field, the companies, any individuals, because at the end of those introductions, John or whoever is there leading the meetings will ask for follow-ups. What is a follow-up? Well, I may have heard, let's say I heard Jennifer say she wants contacts at Genworth. So I would say, Jennifer, I know somebody at Genworth. And then after the meeting, either physically at the end of the meeting or through LinkedIn, Jennifer will connect with me and I will share who I know. And a lot of times what happens after that is a LinkedIn introduction. So that's what we're looking for at the end of the introductions when he says follow-ups. Just, I have one for you, and then take care of it later. After the introductions, there is some sort of a program that might include a job search workshop. A lot of times there are guest speakers. It may be a discussion of particular resources. Sometimes there are mock interviews. There might be a resume review. So there's a program for the rest of the session. All right, next I want to take you to the Career Prospectors website. We're going to look at the homepage, which is basically just a link to the meetup site that we've already seen. There's an About Us page that has history. The most important thing on careerprospectors.com is the resources page. And it has all sorts of important resources there. So I want to take you to that. All right, so here's that homepage that essentially just has a link to Meetup where you can see where the next meeting is and RSVP to that. And there is an About Us page. And it points out that Career Prospectors is for job seekers in the greater Richmond area, helping people find job opportunities since 2002. So it's been around for 23 years. There is no cost at any time. Career Prospectors is always free because it is all volunteer and we all help each other out. I want to come over to the resources page because that's, excuse me, the most important. So the first resource you will see is the job search plan. So there's an example, there's a template with sample information so that you know what a job search plan, and you can make one for yourself. This is your job search plan. So feel free to delete anything you want to delete. Feel free to change everything. Make it your job search plan. The job search plan is especially helpful during one-on-one information meetings because it looks forward, not back. Your resume is your history. Your job search plan is what are you looking for. So It's help. Some people need help in having that conversation in a one-on-one information meeting, which still we're going to be talking about that. There is a resume template here. If you don't have a resume, it's a place to get started. There is nothing magical about this resume. The only rules for your resume is no images. A lot of times your resume is read not by a person, but by a computer. The computer does nothing with the images. It ignores them. No tables or columns. It does not process those well. So it may be passing strange results onto the human who will be looking at what it pulls in from your resume. Those are basically the only rules. The template is there if you need help getting started. So create a simple resume, not a fancy resume. You're just conveying information and not too much information. Keep it brief. It's the movie trailer to get someone's attention that they want to set up a phone screen with you. It's not the entire movie. There is a section here on accomplishments. Accomplishments are important. They are important on your resume. They are important on your LinkedIn profile. They are important in your interviews. Nobody cares what you did. They care what you accomplished. So focus on your accomplishments. Over here, it talks about SOAR stories. SOAR is an acronym for situation, obstacle, action, and result. SOAR stories are a great way to answer interview questions. Stories, people remember stories. People do not remember, I worked here, I did this. Tell a story. What was the situation? What obstacle did you face? What action did you take? And what were the results? So try to answer interview questions with SOAR stories. Prepare SOAR stories in advance so that you're ready to tell a story in answer to interview questions. Using artificial intelligence in the job hunt. It can be a big help. If you haven't started using artificial intelligence yet, you should. It is now a required tool in a lot of jobs, so get started now if you're not started yet. And it can be very helpful in improving your resume, in improving each section of your LinkedIn profile, in preparing for interviews, in following up from interviews. So there are links here to a PowerPoint about Gen AI in the job search, and there are 20 AI prompts to help prepare you for your job interview. There is some information here about accountability groups. We'll talk a little bit more about those in a few minutes. And then there are a few past presentations here. So look through if one looks interesting or if all of them look helpful, take a look at those PowerPoints from past presentations at Career Prospectors, including one on generative AI powered job search, which was conducted by someone named Beth Denson, Catherine Diebler, and Allison Coops. So helpful information there. And there are some other resources on this resource page. Any questions or comments about the Career Prospectors website? All right, I'm going to come back to.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What if you're looking to, what if you don't know what companies or specific companies you're focusing on? You're really looking more to segue into a new industry or new career altogether, if you're a career changer.
Yeah, so you're going to start with research. You're going to start with what job titles would fit my skills. You're going to, and there are tools available to do that, and you can find some of those in that AI presentation. You can just ask the AI tool of your choice, feed it your resume, not including the personal identifiable information, and ask it, what jobs am I qualified for? You could first ask it to improve your resume. So you can start there and research companies. Like I am looking for either in-person or hybrid. So that narrows my search. I am looking for a medium-sized company because too small and they can't afford a full-time learning and development person, too large, and they cut it into little teeny tiny chunks, and I don't want that. I like the full spectrum. So you're going to do research. There are tools available, AI and otherwise, to help you do that research, to come up with your starting list of companies. That list of companies will change over time. As you hold one-on-one information in meetings, you may find, no, I'm not interested in that company. As you see jobs and you apply to jobs, you may add to that list. So that list of companies will change over time, but it is research that's going to get you the list of companies and the list of job titles. All right. And,
Allison, a couple of things on what we just covered.
Okay.
We talked about resumes. My experience is that if you hire a professional resume writer, that's not necessarily a good thing, because the professional writer will not know you. Also, on accomplishments, your resume does not have to be limited to accomplishments from your most recent job. You can go back 4 or 5 jobs if you've had that many. Go back to your college accomplishments, your high school accomplishments. Were you in Scouts? Were you a Scout leader? Things like that are accomplishments, and they count.
Yes, volunteer accomplishments count. Thank you. All right, I'm going to come back to our PowerPoint. Move on to our next slide. LinkedIn. And the first things that I want to point out on LinkedIn are the Career Prospectors group, which you will want to join, and the Career Prospectors company page, which you will want to follow. The Career Prospectors group has like 6,000 people who want to help you in your job search. Most of them are past members of Career Prospectors. Some of them are current members of Career Prospectors. There are about 600 recruiters that are members of the Career Prospectors group. I'm going to take you there and show you that. And there's a Career Prospectors company page. Once you find companies that you're interested in, you should follow those companies that you are interested in. Why? People and companies and groups that you will follow are the main things that you are going to see in your feed. If you follow Career Prospectors and you're a member of the Career Prospectors group, a member of industry groups that are relevant to you, following companies that you're interested in, you are going to be, you're going to see when they post jobs. When you comment on things, when you like things, they are going to see your name. And you can use LinkedIn to find any first level connections at companies that you're interested in. And we only have 5 minutes left. Matt is actually going to send out another link because we are not that close. We still have more to do, and we're going to get kicked out of this meeting. So Matt is going to be putting a link for a second meeting immediately when we get kicked out of this one in the chat.
So we have 10 minutes left for this one.
We have a okay. So there will be a new link in the chat for our next meeting. All right, I want to take you to LinkedIn. And it is a little slower with people in the meeting. Okay, LinkedIn, when you take there, takes you to your feed. Your feed is people, groups, and companies that you follow. You want to like and comment on things so that people see your name. Use that open to work banner. The only reason not to use that is if you're currently in a professional job and do not want your employer to know that you are looking for a better job. Otherwise, use that open to work banner, because when companies, when recruiters, when HR people are filtering it's going to be one of their filters. They are going to filter for people who are open to work, because they're not going to waste, they're not going to reach out to people who are not showing that they're open to work, because they only get an allocation. They only get so many in mail. So they're not going to waste those on people who are not open to work. So, so do use that banner. I want to take you first to the LinkedIn group, and it is not obvious how to get there or how to join that. So at the top of LinkedIn, you are coming over to where it says For Business and has the 9 dots there, the square of 9 dots. You're going to click on For Business. And then on the left, you are going to click on Groups. And I'm seeing Career Prospectors quite at the top, because I, along with over 5,000 of my closest friends, are members of the Career Prospectors group. You will have to search for it. So you're going to use this search bar to search for Career Prospectors. The first thing you're going to see is the company. That's not the first thing you're looking for. So you're going to keep looking for the Career Prospectors group, because it is more important to join the Career Prospectors group. So I'm clicking on that. Because I am already a member, I am seeing View Posts. What you will see if you're not a member yet is a Join button. So you want to join the Career Prospectors group. I'm going to click on that. Once you have joined, you can post to the group. What would you post to the group? You can share job openings there. You can share resources that are, relevant and helpful. Anything that's relevant and helpful for people who are looking for a job. So as I scroll down here, there's a job that's posted. Oh, look, someone named Allison Coops posted 9 life lessons from an Australian comedian. About half of them are directly relevant to life during our searches for our next opportunity. So you can check out that, more job postings. So lots of wonderful information posted within the Career Prospectors group. And we went to For Business, Groups, and joined the Career Prospectors group to get there. All right. When you are in Career Prospectors groups, it is kind of walled off from the rest of LinkedIn. So to get back to the rest of LinkedIn, you have to get out of those groups. So I actually delete it from the address bar and then get back to the rest of LinkedIn. Again, it's slightly slow with all these people here. Again, you're going to be seeing people and companies and groups that you follow. I also wanted to show you the Career Prospectors company. So now that I'm out of groups, I can use the search bar to search for Career Prospectors, the company. And I am already following it, but let me go ahead and click on Career Prospectors, the company page. You would have, if you're not following it yet, you would have a follow button. So you could click on the follow button. So right now I'm on the posts tab. So I see things that the Career Prospectors company has posted, which are mostly upcoming events, some job opportunities. There is a home page that tells you all about Career Prospectors. There is, there's a people page, just like any company, there's a people page so that you can see the people that are associated with the Career Prospectors company page. All right. And one of the most important things you're going to use Career Prospectors for is to find those second level connections. Second level connections are the key to the kingdom. So, you're looking for those mutual connections. When you find a mutual connection at a company that you're interested in, you're going to reach out to the person that you know and ask them if they know. So if I wanted to meet Jewel Glenn, I could reach out to Charlie Wood and say, do you know Jewel Glenn well enough to introduce us? And then Charlie might say, no, I actually don't, or might say, yes, I can introduce you, and he could send a LinkedIn message to the two of us introducing us, so that I can then take it from there and set up an information meeting or whatever I want to do there. Okay, so LinkedIn is a really important component of your job search. Recruiters looked at your LinkedIn profile more than resumes. Make yours great. Use AI to improve each section of your LinkedIn profile. Don't go back too far into the past, but do include everything that is relevant. Use LinkedIn. So when I started with Career Prospectors, I think I had around 500 connections. A lot of those were not real connections, because when I first joined LinkedIn, I used one of my professional groups and just put out a blanket invitation to people in learning and development. Please connect with me, and a lot of people did. So some of those older connections, I don't actually know the people. Since I've been with Career Prospectors, working on adding more new real connections, and renewing some old connections, and trying to make some of those not real connections into real connections. Post and comment on things. If someone, so you have your list of companies you're interested in, you follow the list of companies you are interested in. So you see things that they post. They may post a job that you are interested in. So you can like that, you can comment on it, make sure your comments are professional and make you look good. But the people who posted that will see both your name and you're open to work, and that can lead to things. So LinkedIn, very, very important in your job search. Develop real relationships with people. Share job postings with within the Career Prospectors group, or with other individuals within the Career Prospectors group. Your resume is important, but it is not the most important thing. Make sure your resume is up to date, and work to make it good, make it worthwhile, make it something that's going to make recruiters say, I want to learn more about this person. Your job search plan. Remember, on the Career Prospectors resources page, there were a couple of, there's an example and a sample of a job search plan. So create your own job search plan that has that list of companies that you're currently interested in. So don't print a stack of these, because that list of companies will change. And but they are one tool that you can use in a one-on-one information meetings. And I can finally stop saying I'll talk about those a little bit later. So one of the main things that you are going to do in your job search is to set up one-on-one information with people. The best ones are going to be people at companies that you are interested in. So you've made your list of companies you're interested in. You have found your first level connections. You have found second level connections that you are interested in learning more about, getting to know. So you have used your mutual connections to reach out and get introduced to people at the companies that you are interested in. And you are going to schedule one-on-one meetings with these people. These are not interviews. These are meetings to learn more about the company, but you are going to research the company before this meeting, because a lot of information is available online and elsewhere. You're going to use this meeting to ask for advice, to learn more about the particulars. What is it like to work there? What do you like about working there? What are the things that you don't like about working there? You're going to use these meetings to try to get advice and information that will help you learn whether you really want to be a part of that. And you're going to ask for other connections. You're going to ask who within the organization would it be helpful for me to meet? Could you introduce me to that person? An introduction is not a referral. So you don't have to know someone well enough that you would refer them to give an introduction. You can introduce anybody that you know, anybody that you've met. So introductions are not a referral. They are two different things. But you are going to try to schedule a lot of these one-on-one information meetings. You're going to try to schedule 5 a week. You're going to try to hold 5 a week. Offer to buy somebody a cup of coffee. Sometimes, sometimes people are busy and won't be able to do an in-person one, but you can hold a video one-on-one meeting. And those are almost as good. They're not as good, but they're almost as good. As a third choice that's not almost as good is a phone call. So you're going to try to schedule a lot of these information meetings to build your network. Why are you trying to build your network? There are a lot of different statistics out there, and because there are a lot of different statistics, I'm just going to pull from them. I'm going to choose the ones that I want to choose because you will hear a lot of different statistics, but I'm going to use half of job openings are posted somewhere. The other half are not. So networking, building that real network of people who know you are looking for your next opportunity is how you get to know about jobs that are not posted or create jobs that are not posted. Another statistic, there are lots of statistics, so I'm just going to pull from them and make up out of the jobs that are posted. About half of them, they already have somebody in mind that they're probably going to hire. So by networking, building real relationships, you are trying to become that person that they already are probably going to hire. So networking is really important. Get to know people. Tell everybody that you are looking for your next job opportunity. Do not be ashamed. There is no shame in you are looking for your next job opportunity. And if people don't know, people can't help you. And people want to help. People want to give advice. People want to introduce you. Not everybody, that doesn't apply to 100% of people, but in general, people do want to help, but they can't help if they don't know you are looking for a job. So.
We do have a question from Mark. He just asked, do you recommend the paid version of LinkedIn?
I recommend waiting until you feel like you need the paid version. Sign up for the 1 month free. Use it heavily for that 1 month. Take all of the LinkedIn learning courses that are relevant. Send a lot of connection requests with a note. Use it heavily for that 1 free month, and that may be enough. I accidentally paid for a second month, so I had 2 months of the premium, and that was kind of enough. So yes, do it at some point. Yes, use that 30 days free, and I wouldn't pay for more than a month or so of it. Do what you need while it's free or during maybe 1 more month is my recommendation. Okay. Artificial intelligence. You can use any tool you want, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Claude, any tool you want. You can use more than one tool. There's a website called earnbetter.com. It's another option that's available that is tailored to customizing your resume and customizing your cover letters. You should customize your resume, customize your cover letter for every job you apply to. It doesn't take that long. If you're using a tool to help you, it just takes a few minutes. But you need to have Like the job title, there are multiple job titles that mean essentially the same thing. So make sure the job title that you're applying to is somewhere on your resume. Make sure the keywords in the job description are somewhere on your resume. Otherwise, your resume will not get found by the applicant tracking systems, the ATS, that are reviewing the vast majority of resumes when you apply to a job. So do customize your resume, do customize your cover letter. If it does not ask for a cover letter, you don't have to give a cover letter. If it does say there's an optional cover letter, do a cover letter. So yes, use artificial intelligence to help you customize resumes. You can use artificial intelligence to draft something and then you edit it to make sure it's everything you want it to be and nothing you don't want it to be. Or you can draft your own and use artificial intelligence to polish it, to improve it. And you don't have to accept everything it says, but it is very helpful in improving your resume and improving each section of your LinkedIn profile. Preparing for interviews, just so helpful. To the extent that I would say you are at an unfair disadvantage if you do not use it. So use artificial intelligence to help your job search. Accountability groups, groups of about up to 8 people that meet weekly. Each person sets a goal for themselves, and the group helps to hold people accountable to the goals that they set for themselves. It's a strong social support network for the people in that group. They can share job postings with each other, help each other through those highs and lows that I mentioned. I think we have several accountability groups that are meeting at this point. We only have a few career prospectors that are with us. Kest never joined us back again. But do we have, out of the people that have here, are any of you in accountability groups? Okay, so if you're interested in an accountability group, come to a Career Prospectors meeting and ask about accountability groups, because there are accountability groups, and we can probably get you connected with one of those. Accountability groups, there has to be some sort of self-identified leader who emerges out of that. And if there's a better leader, it's going to be a better group. And if nobody steps forward, it might struggle a little bit. If the person who steps forward doesn't do a good job, it might struggle a little bit. So they vary, but they can be a very important tool in helping you to meet your goal. And your ultimate goal is to land your next dream job. Industry networking groups, I think the only one that's active right now is an IT networking group, but Career Prospectors is all about stepping up and, here's a need, let's start something to fill that need. So it's being part of the solution. So an industry networking group, people with similar career interests, they meet to share insights on the industry, plan for networking opportunities within the industry, including visits to sites that are relevant. At our weekly meetings, there's sometimes training on LinkedIn, on resumes, on using AI in the job search, using X or Twitter, and other job search subjects. Volunteering.
Sorry, just a quick pause in between slides. First, we mentioned statistics earlier. He did mention a book called How to Lie with Statistics that seems relevant. So he mentioned it was short, accurate, and easy to read. So that's just another resource. And I guess before we move on to the next one, I know that there's always people providing tips for resources and stuff. I didn't know if anybody else had any other resources that they've found very helpful that maybe wasn't mentioned. if there's anybody that people wanted to mention, like for the recording for future reference.
Mhm.
If not,
Bar-
that's fine, but just thought I'd
Barbara or
take a pause to see
Mark?
if anybody else had recommended resources that have helped them.
Yeah. Barbara or Margaret, do you have anything you wanted to share, resources?
Good.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
One thing I will mention, there is, well, it's actually a website, jobscan.com, which is helpful, but you run out of the free very quickly.
Yeah.
But they held a virtual a job standout summit, which was wonderful, and everything was recorded. So if you go to jobscan.com, you should be able to find the standout summit and find recordings. And it was 2 days packed solid with a webinar, workshop, one after another. Most of them were wonderful. So jobscan.com, the Standout Summit, look for those recordings. Great stuff there. All right, volunteering. One reason that it is helpful to volunteer, like I am doing today, with Career Prospectors, is to answer the question, what have you been doing lately? So keep up professional skills, keep your professional brain working, and show that you haven't been sitting around streaming Netflix for however long since your last job ended. So training is one of the things that you can volunteer for. You can develop by yourself or with other career prospectors, workshops to lead, or there are past workshops that you can bring back to life, like this one we're doing today. There used to be an orientation. So I worked with a team, we met and we revamped this. And now I'm leading this today. So you can do this kind of thing, anything related to the job search or professional skills. Small groups, you can lead small groups. Everybody can provide one-on-one peer support. So helping other career prospectors in their job search. So helping each other, using whatever skills you bring to the table to help the group, and create your own volunteer opportunities. If you see a need for something, be a part of the solution for that. So do something to help others. All right, I think that is going to bring us all the way to questions. I guess we'll go ahead to questions. So questions on anything about career prospectors.
Yep. Nikki just mentioned one in the comments. I didn't know. I could read it out loud, or
I can bring
if
it
that
up.
works.
Yeah.
Are there any sites you would recommend over others as far as training for new skills or certifications, such as like Udemy? I've heard of that one. It's paid courses, like, and they're reasonably priced, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't taken any of those, but sure, that's a great source. When you do your free month of LinkedIn Learning, I recommend the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
When you do your free month of LinkedIn Premium, I recommend LinkedIn Learning during that month and any months that you decide you want to pay for. Industry groups. So I joined trainingmag.com, which is free. It was Training Magazine once upon a time. It's, I think, 100% online now. They have webinars all the time. They're all free. They're all great. So industry groups, find what is relevant to you and get training through those. Who else has something you want to share as far as training? Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I've used Data Camp before. It's good for more technical skills. I've had mixed experiences with it, specifically for certifications. I'll give an example. I did like a Microsoft certification through them since they had a discount. I would definitely recommend, if you're looking for a technical certification, try to see if you can do it through like for example, I did Microsoft Power BI. I would go to Microsoft first before going to like some of these secondary ones, because if you go to the place that offers the certification, that's usually best. But Data Camp is good for general courses, and you can like do things completely on the website using a virtual like uh, like a virtual connection. But I wouldn't recommend it for certifications. I've had a pretty bad experience with one of their courses that didn't align, so I would recommend it for classes, but not for certifications. I would definitely recommend certifications. Research if the software, whatever it is, has its own course first, and then yeah, I think the sites like you mentioned, the Udemy. I think that's one I've heard is good, but I don't know any other personal recommendations other than Data Camp. So,
Yeah, I used Data Camp for Qualtrics, and that was good.
yeah.
And Google certifications. If you Google certifications,
Yeah.
They have a lot. So there's video courses. A lot of the video courses are free. And then the certification is a different level that there is a cost for. But the courses, the videos themselves are free. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of good content under Google certifications. And you can choose whether you do just the free video or pay and do the entire certification. So there's some good stuff under Google certifications. I think we only have a couple of minutes left. Are there other questions
Or recommendations or
or
things that,
recommendations?
yeah, tools people have used, other things to include for the recording, for just experiences, references, all that.
And earnbetter.one is one that I use sometimes. I don't use it all the time, but earnbetter.com for customizing resumes and cover letters.